think when you think of New York City, you think of the buzz. And so how can you depict the buzz? And in that sense, we immediately came to the idea of traffic. The piece Intersection is made up of three components. There is the string that hangs and is activated by fans that go on and off that are timed to the traffic flow. And through the movement generated by the wind of the fan, we're sort of visualizing movement on the string. A second component is the back wall, which is the video of the actual street, both Lexington Avenue and 47th Street, both from the street side and from an aerial view. And then the third component is the sound picture or sonogram, which is the description of the sound that you would hear outside. So we're trying to make the sound visible through movement and depiction.
I had really no clue about how I could make sound a sort of visual thing. And I did some programming in Max MSP, which is a really interesting programming language that is pretty accessible to artists. And in doing that, I developed some sonograms and other sort of gain meter kind of things that I put together and came down here and made some recordings of the space just to kind of see what those sounds are going to look like. We made some videos, and when we got back to our studio, we were looking at the videos, and we realized the kind of interesting thing is that the traffic flows down Lexington, and then traffic light stops, and then the traffic flows across 47th Street. But what we hadn't realized is that, in fact, when the traffic light stops on Lexington, there's a moment where it's red all around, and nothing moves. And it's this moment of silence and stillness. And we thought, well, that's kind of cool.
This piece is in sync with what we do in the sense that we're responding to a site and to a specific place. That just makes me alive. I mean, that's what I do. That's what a human being does, is respond to their time and place, their moment in this world.
The space itself forms a rectangle. That empty rectangle we tried to reproduce in this space with this rectangle of strings. And then the movement of the traffic, of the sound itself, we tried to reproduce with the movement of wind going through the strings. And then the silence, the stillness. So what I really find exciting is when all the movement stops and everything gets very still, only to start up again.
When you think of the city, you do think of the energy of the city and the vitality of it and the movement and the people and the diversity. And then when we started to focus in to the intersection, that became very much a kind of condensing of that idea of movement and energy.
Intersection is where two things meet, but it's also the space between things.